What can you say?
What do you guys know?
You're in it.
You're in it.
I'm in it.
Grindelwald's in it.
Yeah, the trailer. You guys saw the trailer?
And go.
You're back with Newt again? What?
Say what?
You're with Newt again? What?
Yeah. So I'm back somehow. And I've regained or retained a lot of the memory. And you find out within like the first 2 seconds of seeing me in the film how that's possible, which is awesome because everyone's gonna be like, "What the hell?" And then, "Oh, okay, that's what." And then, so I saw it twice, and I'm really excited about it.
How was the experience shooting a second movie now, being fully in the world versus the first time you did it when you kind of joined the Harry Potter world? Was it more like an old hat, more like familiar to you?
It felt like being a sophomore coming back to college, where you're not as stressed out and you know the ropes and you know the people and like that first movie, everyone just wanted to do a good job. I know, and I was like, this is my shot, man. I gotta nail this. I gotta, and I don't want to be like the Jar Jar of, That's a lot of.
We spoke the name. Oh,
I was
careful
like,
there.
oh God! Yeah, that's the name that shall not be spoken in that franchise. But holy, yeah. So there was a lot of that first movie. Was like, man, let's just do a good job and make sure that this is actually a franchise, And then it was, and people dug in, and I knew coming back to it, people enjoyed the chemistry. So the second time was a lot more comfortable, and I just had a blast. I'm really proud of the work in it.
Are there any challenge on shooting the film? Because obviously it will be pretty much the same characters, all the cast members all together, but it's like totally bring it to the next level. So I'm curious how are there any challenges that encounters on this film?
Well, it's the first Harry Potter films, the sequels, they just got exponentially larger and larger and more ensemble and more characters to juggle and that's happening here. It's a dense piece of art, and you have to go back and see it, several times to absorb it all. And that's what she does in her movies. It's like a Shakespeare play or something. It's like complex relationships and Easter eggs and things that link to things that will happen down the line. And so the challenge, I guess, was, I had a blast, but the challenge was going into it, going to see the film. I only knew my scenes, and I knew there were a lot of ensemble coming in, a lot of new characters, and I was coming into it going, like I'm pretty sure my stuff is going to be fun, and I know that's working, and I was just curious to see, if Johnny was going to be, the great villain that we hope he is, if Jude is going to be the Dumbledore that we hope he is. I'm going into it thinking just like everybody else, like, is everyone going to rise to the occasion? And they really do.
Hey Dan, I think you just hit on it now. As a fan, as an actor first, but also as a fan.
Yeah.
Fanboys, Star Wars universe, Harry Potter universe, Walking Dead universe starting soon. As a fan coming into these large franchises, did you feel pressure like, ooh, hey, I'm in the big show now? And I guess to tack on the end of that, what's another thing as a fan that you'd like to appear in? World.
I'd love to be in one of these Star Wars spin-offs. I don't know. I grew up on Star Wars, so that's my love.
Yeah.
And what was the first part of the question? Got absorbed by Star Wars.
Do you feel any pressure coming into these immense pre-established worlds?
Absolutely. Like I was saying, for that first movie was like, this is a global phenomenon, and you don't want to mess it up. Like there's a lot of pressure just to show up and do a good job. And then, but once you do something like Fantastic Beasts, and you go around and you do the press circuit, and you survive that, and you're like, okay, I can surf this. Then you go to The Walking Dead, and you go to the Comic-Con, and again, it's like coming back to old friends, and kind of done it, and I'm still very romantic about it. You know, still read The Walking Dead. I'm playing a character that's like in the comic book, so that's like so cool to me.
It's awesome.
Can you talk a little bit about how that came about? I mean, because you premiere tomorrow night with the season premiere, right?
Yeah, and it's awesome.
Yeah,
Have you seen it?
Yeah, it's great. And but how did that role come about? I mean, you're
Okay.
9 years in, or 9 seasons in, and now you're starting the show.
I think my representation, because doing the Fantastic Beasts movies, I was like, please look for TV shows for me during my off time. That's on the other side of the spectrum than
Goldbergs.
than Goldbergs and Jacob.
Sure.
And which is, it's all very fun and lovable, but I wanted something darker. So they were looking around, and I think they were tapping on the Walking Dead's shoulder for a while. And then out of the blue, they were just like, "Hey, does he have time for this to play this character? We want him to do this Luke character." And I said, "Absolutely." And I hope it continues. With my schedule, it's hard to work everything out, but I hope I can do it for a long, long time. I'm having a blast, man. I'm riding horses and stuff.
How do you separate your characters? When you're doing these things right after another, you go from Jacob to being Luke on The Walking Dead, Marvin on the Goldbergs. How do you separate those? And also, you'll always be Randy Daytona.
Oh yeah, right. Oh man, that's unfortunate. Try to get that out of your head.
T-shirt back.
Oh wow. Yeah. You kind of get there and you kind of learn what the playing ground is, and it's all different facets of my personality. Like I feel like I'm playing different relatives. Like the Luke is very close to myself. It's almost like me in a parallel universe if acting didn't work out and I started to become like a music teacher or something. He's very close to my own voice. Jacob is like playing an ancestor. He's like playing, because my great-grandfather was a baker on the Lower East Side. So playing Jacob is like, oh my God, thank you, for this wonderful gift of being able to step into like a relative's shoes. And then Marvin, I mean, I had an uncle like that, uncle that is constantly scheming on the side and needs money. It's always like, I know that guy. He was in my family, and he was in Adam's family and Adam Goldberg's family. And we got to know each other on Fanboys. So he's like a brother to me. So it all just seems like I always try to just use different spectrums of my personality. And then, of course, like I said, you get on the playing field. They give you Jacob, the costume is very important. That mustache, once I got that mustache and the hair to the side, I mean, I'm like, okay, I'm Jacob, and it's, I come from theater, so there's layers, there's the inside layer where you're like, okay, this is like sense memory. I know this guy in my heart, and then once you get the other layers on top of that, and the makeup and you really start to fool yourself into believing that you're this character.
Dan,
Yeah.
I was lucky enough to see the film, the first time a couple weeks ago when it went back into the theaters. And one of the things that struck me almost immediately was how likable and relatable your character was. So apart from being a Muggle, why do you think that is?
Apart from being a Muggle?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, Muggles got a bad rep, in the first movie, right? I mean, they were just mean. Most of the Muggles in the Harry Potter series, Harry's parents, humans, normal folk were not represented well. So I guess in this one, J.K. really wanted to have a Muggle nomad that was likable and I feel like Jacob and a lot of the characters, but specifically Jacob is, you look at him and there's this nostalgia factor where you're just like, this is, it seems like, you see me and Newt together, it's like, Laurel and Hardy, and you see, you see me and Queenie together, and it's like, whoa, that's like Guys and Dolls or something, it's like, and you have all of these, and it's hero's journey, classic, iconic, Joseph Campbell Cycle of the Myth stuff. He's the fucking baker, that you have read your entire life in fairy tales, Into the Woods, the baker, So you have all that going into it, and it gives you, just that warm feeling. It's like the guy already, right? Yeah.
Dan, it's okay if I switch gears and talk a little bit about the character in Walking Dead?
Yeah, we were. What do you want to know?
Oh, yes. First of all, please tell us about the character, first of all.
Yeah, sure, man.
Working with Andy Lincoln in Spanish.
Yeah, Andy, man. I wish I had more to work with him. I got we kind of, we cross paths in the show. He's coming, we're coming, and he's leaving. And so it was really kind of bittersweet to see this, this world that, he was the captain. Like, he put his brand on that show as far as we are working in a sauna, and we are doing this, sunrise to sunset, 120%, everybody. We're all sweating our brains out here, and we're just going to act our balls off. And you see that in the show, Every single shot that he's in, he's just like, he's like sweating his brains out, just giving it his all. And he set that standard, and just to see, thank you, for giving that high water mark of energy. So then coming in, and you see that the crew and everybody, like I said, I'm from theater, so I really love, at the end of the day, and your muscles are hurting and you're sweating, you feel like you got your money's worth, and I really appreciate that kind of. It's really a film. It's like we're making an extended zombie movie, essentially. It's like my character Luke, very similar to me. He's a music teacher, and such lovely words they've given me along the lines of the theme of holding on to our humanity and our civilization while everything is crumbling, and which is an interesting message right now. So there's a huge chance to it's like what Shakespeare said, you gotta put the mirror up to society and let them reflect on what's going on. I mean, this is a very entertaining way of having people reflect, and I have these amazing monologues, and he's really cool. He goes around, every time he finds a discarded instrument, he collects them. It's like, what are you, crazy? It's like, you're gonna get yourself killed. But it's like, that's the point. And so these beautiful scenes. I get to work with Denai, and she's just wonderful. Daryl, Samantha, who was in Fantastic Beasts as well. Not Norman. Everyone knows everybody's name. Yeah, I'm having a blast, man. I get to ride horses like it's a western. And kill zombies. Like, I don't normally do that, So that's really fun.
We're gonna do one more question.
We know that Rowling changed your character's arc, so how did that change your portrayal of Jacob?
Say that again?
Rowling changed Jacob's character arc.
Yeah, how do you know that?
Because we're MuggleNet.
And speak these
Oh, okay, that got you down.
Yeah. Of course. So how did that change how you portray Jacob?
Well, that's funny because, the first movie, she sat me down and was like, "This is your arc. You are in the next movie. This happens. In the next movie, this happens." And you know, I was like, this is the greatest hero's journey ever. Like, this is what she told me. I was like, oh my God, if he gets to do all that, I'm gonna be so happy. And then we started rehearsals for this movie, and I was like, hey, you know, I know you're busy, Joe, but I just wanted to check in, like, about my arc. Like, so for this movie, I'm supposed to go here and then just listen to that, and that's gonna happen, right? And then she goes, oh no, that's all totally changed. And then she walks away from me. I was like, oh my God. So, how do I play that? I just have the philosophy now where I'm just like, I can't get excited about anything she says to me because it may change tomorrow. So now I'm totally fully in the moment as Jacob. Like, it's what she has done is basically like, no, you don't know what happens tomorrow. Deal with it. It's perfect because he doesn't know, and you know, we should know. We should know our arcs. We should just be totally in a moment and take it step by step like they are.
Just get magical baguettes instead.
Sorry?
Just get magical baguettes instead.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. Since we're at Comic-Con, do you want to take a minute to tell everyone about Brooklyn Gladiator and your book?
Yeah. Okay. So the reason I'm here is I got 2 books coming out, or 3 books coming out. So we got Brooklyn Gladiator, which is my dystopian Blade Runner Akira style comic book that I have. The other one is Moon Lake, which is my Twilight Zone style series, and then the other one is called Fishkill, which is like a noir set today, and they're all coming out. Fishkill, we're still working on a publisher, but it's probably going to be with Chapter House, which is Jay Baruchel's company, and very excited about these books that are coming out in the new year, and that's why I'm here. I'm hawking my wares, and we sold out, man. Like, it was like people are loving it. So, and the shirts are 40X Dan Fogler's 40 Experience podcast. Check that one out. We connected on that one, and I think that's it. We touched on everything, guys.
You gonna be at the booth tomorrow too?
No, I'm going to LA to do Goldbergs. Yeah.
Are you going to be at
Philadelphia?
That's a good reason.
Yeah.
It's a good reason.
I'm busy, man.
Are you at the booth any more time today?
Yeah, right after this,
Okay.
I'm here till the
Cool.
end.
I have a mutual friend named Natalie Shumiao. Do you know her?
Yeah, Natalie.
Yeah, she said hello to you. Actually.
Oh, great.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.